she is. She is single and fun-loving. She is engaged. She is newly married. She has no children. She has one child. She has many children.
Welcome to Life by Story. Life by Story is a production of Get There From Here, and Get There From Here is a coaching company dedicated to helping individuals and organizations who want to make a difference get to the stuff that matters through the power of story. In this video series, you're going to encounter all kinds of creative people who are facing all kinds of challenges and have all kinds of exciting dreams. Some of the stories they share will be about how they do get to the stuff that matters. Others will be about why they don't. In this segment, you're going to meet Kim Sauer. When I sat down to meet with Kim, she had just undergone a significant transition in her life. She had become a mother. Now, as I'm sure you know, American women who are or want to be mothers face all kinds of conflicting ideas about what motherhood is or should be. And this is on top of the challenge we have when we're trying to bring another role in to fit with all the other parts of ourselves. What struck me most in this interview with Kim is that not only did this new role as a mother strengthen those other parts of her drive, her flexibility, her confidence, but it also opened her up to more possibility overall. So in 3 acts, I invite you to join me for a bit of Kim Sauer's Life by Story. So there are a lot of fabulous facts that I could share about you that I think make up the Kim Sauer that I know. But you have had this remarkable change in your life. 3 months ago, right? You became a mom.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how would you have described yourself before motherhood?
I think before motherhood, I would have described myself as somebody that was very driven, very ambitious, a perfectionist of sorts, which is sometimes good and sometimes bad. Very caring, loved to spend time with friends and family, have a lot of fun. I took life, I think, a little more seriously or a little too seriously at times, which is something I wanted to work on. But for the most part, a go type personality.
What did you think motherhood would be like?
That's an interesting question because I find that when I was younger, when I wasn't pregnant, before I even thought about having kids, so much of being a mother and motherhood came from what I knew, from my mom, from my family, from just my own thoughts and feelings about it. And so much of when I finally became pregnant, learning from friends about how they were feeling also helped shape my views, because I came from a family where my mother gave everything she had to all 3 of her daughters, and that was her life. That was her script. That was her job. That was what she was told she was going to do with her life. My mom stopped her professional career when I was born. I was the firstborn, and after that, she didn't return to work. That's one model, and the model that I learned the most from because I grew up in that family. Then, fast forward, I'm pregnant, I'm talking to friends of mine a friend specifically who had said to me, when she was pregnant, said to me, every time someone asks about the baby, they ask, well, are you going to go back to work? Or what arrangements are you making for the baby? Because obviously, your husband's going to be working. And she got so offended by that. And I understand why, because she is much like myself, a type A personality, very driven. She owns her own business and had just taken so much offense to this because she said, hasn't our world changed enough that people think that, you know, I'm still going to be staying at home. Haven't we changed or moved on as a society so that they could maybe think that we're sharing responsibilities, or that I am definitely returning to work, and then we're trying to make arrangements with that model. And that kind of, you know, story, talking to different friends, that kind of shaped also how I thought.
How would you describe your actual experience so far?
I did a lot of thinking about that, and it's interesting because I think when you first give birth and you first have your baby and things happen, it's obviously a huge change, and you might not know who you are or what you're doing or what's happening, sleep deprived. But exactly what I thought would happen happened. I was still the same person inside. I had this new addition to my life that I loved, you know, just as much as, you know, my husband, and couldn't even imagine just the feeling that I had for him. But it was also, I also had myself, which quite frankly I was hoping that I would feel that way, and I was kind of worried that I might not, and that's exactly what ended up happening. So I feel like a lot of me has stayed after having a baby. So not too much of my life has changed. I just feel like I have a little more, or a lot more I should say, love inside of me for someone else now.
That's amazing.
I remember when my son was born, and I had to have a C-section, so I had this kind of blue sheet covering everything, and I didn't know how I was going to feel at that exact moment of his birth. And I remember them kind of taking him out of me and hearing his first cries and thinking, and just breaking down and thinking, I can't believe that he's actually here. I can't believe that I have, you know, this child that I helped create, that he's finally here, that I can finally meet him and hold him and have him be a really good person and join our family and love him. And so it's wonderful.
You've been telling us all about your experience of motherhood. Where do you think this story is leading?
Well, I'm going back to work in a little bit less than a month, and I'm very excited to return. And I think that it's going to be very challenging. I know it's going to be very challenging. I think that this is leading to a whole nother part of my life where I actually, you know, I'm doing a lot of talking about this now. I'm experiencing motherhood now. I'm doing a lot of talking about the career now, but it's going to be put into action. This whole experience has made me more sure of myself, but also more sure of the fact that I don't necessarily know where things are going and where I'll end up, or where we as a family will end up in terms of what I'm doing with my professional career, or how I'm raising my child, or he stays during the day. But that's okay.
When I interviewed Kim, she was on maternity leave, and when she talked about returning to work, she was referring to her role as Chief Operating Officer at a large nonprofit. Since it'd been a few months since production began on this segment, I wanted to touch back in with Kim and see where things stood. True to her comment that she couldn't see exactly where her story was headed, Kim's plans have changed. She has left the large nonprofit and has now begun teaching the Lithe Method, a creative workout program for women based here in Philadelphia. Not only does this give her the chance to pursue other professional interests, but it gives her increased flexibility and the chance to spend more time with her son, a person who has hands down won her heart. If you want to participate in the conversation around this story, and I hope you do, I invite you to go to the website, share your comments, and while you're there, consider telling your own story. Not only do you likely need to tell it, but I bet somebody needs to hear it. For Life by Story and Get There From Here, I'm Jennifer Gleeson Blue. Thanks for watching.